Alright everyone, welcome back to another Bronco episode. In this video, my stuff just came in for the, what is this called? 3G conversion for the alternator. Give us a bigger alternator. We are also, I've already started a little bit, but we are adding a sub back here. It is one of those all-in-one units. So it basically has a built-in output converter. So we're going to come off of our speakers here and we're going to tie into those, and then all we have is a hot ground and remote. Hot's going to go, hot can go behind there, but I'm going to run a dedicated hot up to the, it's not going to be the battery anymore. I will go over what I have and what I'm changing underneath the hood to make all of this fit. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright, so this is the new alternator. This is the 3G alternator. This is from a 1993 Ford Econoline 150 with the 4.9 liter inline six. There's your back. There's what's different. And you want to make sure that this is hollow, because you have a long bolt that goes through to the block on this side, and then on this side, this is your adjustment for your V-built. On top of that, you're going to need this harness right here. This is the pigtail, even though it looks wrong. Let's make sure that's right, because this... Alright, well, it plugs in, so I'm going to say it's right. So you need that pigtail, and it also comes with this one. This one you can make just a regular spade, but this is what comes on the factory. So, and it came in the kit, so I'm going to use it. Alright. And then your main hot wire will land there. So, alright. So, in this, what I've done here is I've taken a screenshot and I've written in some stuff. So, as you can see, there is a green line coming out that says 12 volt SW. That's going to be your 12 volt switch leg. Later on in the video, I talk about adding a resistor to this circuit. So keep that in mind if you're doing this, that your 12 volt switch is going to need a resistor. If you're using the 93 Econoline alternator. I'm not sure about the Taurus alternator, but I do know that this one for sure is going to need the resistor. At least, I'm pretty sure it needs it. I'll go over all that later on in the video. But basically, that black line in the middle is your stator wire. That's going to jump out to the that other terminal right there in the middle. And your other lead, the blue, in my case, or as I have it, it's the red line that just says 12 volt. That's going to go to 12 volt constant. It does say it needs to be a fused source. What I did is I just took it straight back to that large terminal you can see on the back of the alternator. And that's also going to be where your large main wire comes in that gives you your charge back to your battery. Oh, actually, I am still missing one thing, which is fuses. So I got a bus bar. This is not the fuse. I'm actually thinking about sending this back because it's they're only 1/4 inch. Okay, so update here. So we made progress on our 3G conversion. Got the alternator mounted. This bracket right here, this lower one, I had to flatten out in order to make the ears fit. And right now I'm maxed out on adjustment, so you may have to get a shorter belt. This one, it's not super tight, and that's all I can do. So I am going to get a shorter belt for that, but I want to see if we have a slip problem, because if we do, I'm going to have to add the AC belt to it as well, which I may do anyway. Alright, so right here I kind of get lost in what I'm saying, and it gets a little confusing. But basically, 3 of the wires in that bundle of 4 that you had going to your voltage regulator tie straight to 12 volts, and then you have 1 ignition source. So everything but the green wire in there goes straight to 12 volts. So you'll see me take all that to the bus bar later on in the video, and then that green wire just goes straight to your alternator as your switched key on source. Wiring it. This is what everybody's looking for. So this right here going to this 150 amp maxi fuse, that's going to be your big connection on the back of your alternator. Basically, I've already mounted it. I don't really want to unmount it again. That would be this one right here that says BAT on your old one. Okay? If you decide to do what I did, which I'm trying to clean up as much of this wiring as possible because this is just a mess. That is completely unnecessary, by the way. So we took all this apart, figured out that your fusible link that went to your alternator actually splices back in to both of these yellow wires here on the connector, and the yellow goes back to the red, which is also already spliced. So it's like double fed. I don't know what they're doing here, really. Hold on. All right, so the wiring on this thing is getting mostly done. We added this bus bar in because the solenoid was getting a little crowded. So we basically just got a wire from the solenoid to the bus bar, then from the bus bar to the fuse, and then from the fuse to this lug on the back of the alternator. And then as you can see, we have two pigtails hanging out. So I'm gonna figure out how these wire and then I'll explain it. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up right here. So this is just pretty much all of my stuff that I've added to this thing, except for these two right here. So these two, or I'm sorry, these two reds right here. I didn't realize that was ran under like that. So these two reds right here were on this factory plug that used to go to the voltage regulator that teed off and went to the alternator. So I have eliminated all of that, as you can see. So now these two are just going to go straight to this bus bar, and you can just take it underneath. Well, if you don't have a bus bar, obviously you can't do this, but I'm just going to take it underneath that Phillips screw right there, and that's going to be a done deal for me. So all right, so I got all my wires hooked up here. I gotta order some more cloth tape for this, and then I'll be able to make that cleaner than it is now. Make this part right here, you know, I'll get it all worked out. Anyway, but now I'm on to this side. All right, so on mine in particular, blue went to the charge. Let me do like that right there, so maybe you can see. Red went to switch 12 volt, and then that black and yellow just jumped together. According to what I read, this should be right. I went off the diagram that they sent me. So up for the pins, and the pin out should be the same on all these alternators. So yeah, we're pretty much ready to try it. We just got to put a belt on, tighten up a tensioner, and I think we're going to give her a test run. All right, good evening, morning. It's morning, it's evening, I don't know. We're back on our 3G alternator situation. So I'm on my third alternator now. I ordered one from Amazon, had to send it back because it didn't work out of the box. I picked one up from O'Reilly's, and it just quit working yesterday after we replaced this AC compressor for the second time and got it fixed. So now we are on our third alternator. Don't have it installed yet. I was doing some reading, and that alternator is for a 1993 Ford E150 Econoline with the 4.9 liter inline six. In that year model of vehicle, they ran a dummy light, like basically a light that said, hey, your battery's low, vehicle's not going to start, whatever. Since they ran that light, they also ran a resistor. That resistor decreased or increased. That was a resistor. I don't know totally what it did, but I have read like 2 people that said, I only read one person that said you can't run a resistor, or that said that you don't have to, but I read a lot of people saying that adding the resistor doesn't hurt anything. So basically all I did with this alternator before it went bad, I was testing out the inside. I had just put in new speakers, new radio, sub hooked up in the back, and I was testing all that out. I come back, we're cranking the vehicle, It's cranking over, running fine. We're testing the new AC compressor after we got it installed and charged. And first of all, compressor short cycling. I'm like, okay. Figured that was just a low freon charge. Well then, the vehicle won't start back. So it turns out the alternator wasn't charging all those times we were starting it and letting it run. So we're on our third alternator now. And to try to prevent this further, I haven't heard anybody say that running a resistor hurts anything. So I went on Amazon. So we got this fuse assortment. And so, or fuse, this is not a fuse, this is a resistor assortment. And the one that we need is there should be a 500 ohm in here. It said there was. There's a million resistors in here. So basically, I did not own a soldering iron. So Home Depot had the best kind of value on that. Picked up a soldering iron. I do have one other project at least to do with that. And I've kind of needed one for a long time. So yeah. We're gonna solder in a resistor. I even picked up a little pack of solder because I didn't know that I had any. Because most of the time when I'm doing wiring repairs, which I don't even know where it is right now, I think it's been put back up. Oh, right here it is. I'm using this pack right here. This is my crimps, my solder sleeves. That's what I'm most used to using. So, but to add a resistor, I might could use a solder sleeve, but I wasn't totally sure, so I just went ahead and picked up a soldering iron anyway. Like I said, I do have another project to do with it. So, yeah, I'm gonna get a resistor added in here. Basically, this is gonna go on the exciter wire. And so my exciter wire is different from all the other ones for some reason, because the plug I ordered. But my exciter wire is red. Once we have the battery, we can just bring all this up here. I'm also gonna do a bit better of a job of taping this assembly. Everything's pretty much sitting where it needs to. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape this now just because it's easier for me. But yeah, we need to add a resistor here. So I don't know exactly how I want to do it. I'm thinking I may just peel back this tape. And you can see I ran a green wire from my junction block here. Or no, this is constant 12. It would have been over here. It would have been when I deleted all this. Alright, so I've learned something today. I'm trying to find my heat gun right now, but so I added the resistor. It's right here underneath this bit of heat shrink. I don't know if you can really see for the line, but it is there. Alright, and I was testing it with the test light. I don't know if you guys seen one of these before. Just a little 12 volt test light. I've used these things. This is how most starting out mechanics are going to test electrical diagnosis, because these things are easy, especially for testing 12 volts. You get one side of the negative, one side to positive, vice versa, and you find it if you have positive or negative. The problem with this is now that I've added a resistor, this does not light up. So I'm going to prove to you guys that right now. So I have my test light here. This is the solid wire. Comes out of the back of the alternator, charges the battery. This prong does indeed have 12 volts on it, but it's not going to light up. I don't know if you guys can see because of my arm, but that is not lighting up. If I do a meter, put a meter here. Let me try to get you guys set up real quick. Alright, so I'm hoping that you guys can read that. If I do the same thing, one on negative, one on positive, you can see we're reading 12.6 on that big terminal. And if I go here to my agitation terminal, 12.5. So we're getting resistance, 0.10 volts of resistance, or 500 ohms. It's actually, I measured the resistance on that. That's actually like 490-ish. So these cheap ones are a little underrated, but it's close enough. But yeah, just know, if you're trying to test the circuit and it's not lighting up with the test light, it could have a resistor in it. 12.5. Alright, we've been We've been running it for a while, messing with it. We were doing some timing. I was putting on some carburetor adjustments. I hadn't quite made it to there yet. We were also still messing with the AC. That's not 100% worked out yet. But alternator seems to be working. We were charging at 14.14. I will crank it up and show you guys that. We'll make sure our AC system's off because it is doing some weird stuff. I don't know how this AC video is going to actually come out. Our AC is off. Cranks up good though, as of right now anyway. Battery just sounded kind of low. Unless that start wire is melting. I will check the start wire. So there we are, 14.7. So yeah, we are charging. And it charges through this big wire right here. I have it running to this distribution block because I have some extra 12 volt accessories. But yeah, I think my start wire is getting hot, so I'm gonna let this thing pull off and evacuate it. You'll watch if we raise the idle. Charging voltage goes up. So 3G conversion works. So the wiring aspect of that is right. I did add the resistor in, as you guys saw. If you're buying the same kit I got, it's 510 ohms. So just keep that in mind. The kit I bought came with like 1,000 or something like that. So it did come with quite a few. It does have to be added in series. And like I showed before, your test light will not work. You do need to verify voltage with a meter. Well, yeah, guys, that's it for this one. And if you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.